It's your turn now.
Biggest belief
The
that
biggest
I've
shift.
shifted.
Yeah, the biggest shift.
I don't know what this had come under.
Mm.
Let's say for beliefs. I don't know what it come under. But it was realising. I'm trying to put it under one category.
No, go on.
But it was like realising that people care, but they don't care.
Yes.
So it was
relationships, friendships, social boundary type area of. Because they don't care. I know what you're trying to say.
No,
the realisation that
like the perspectives of it was more so for me to get to a place where I care on a human level because I'm a human, but I actually don't care now. And and it was realising that everybody's got a perspective.
Yeah. And an opinion.
And I used to be more involved in that and try to be somebody to fit somebody's, but I'm not sure what that comes under belief-wise.
I think you're talking about a value. You changed a
right,
value.
Right, okay.
Which is a belief that
this all
feeds in, doesn't it? We know that. And what you're, from that shift for you, on the reset of that value, that penetrates across every area of life. Every area.
And it was massive for me. Yeah. It's one of the biggest things.
Well, we wouldn't be doing this if you still felt like you cared or they cared. Like really kept the amount of care isn't significant for us to alter what we really want to do and who we really want to be, is it? Yeah. And I think if people out there could shift that belief, that value, or take the gas off how much they value other people's opinions and other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
Because unless someone's scrolling on Facebook or whatever social media and going, oh, such and such, oh, such and such, as soon as they turn that phone off, they don't care.
No, it was the letting go.
Yes.
Wholly, fully,
and it's
letting
magic
go.
When we can do that. But I do think that's a process, though, isn't it? It's over time.
Yeah.
Because even now...
It did come with my learning.
Yeah. Even now, there are people, significant people in my life where I go, I still care. Because it's not about not caring what people think, but it's the people you choose, and it's the people that are in your life, isn't it? And who you really value. But at the same time, it's still...
But that ties in with frequency.
Yeah, it's an energy thing.
Because I'm able to be fully myself now because I have let go of everything. Not everything. But then that allows that frequency of people to come into my world, and I'm reflecting that mirror.
Yeah.
I'm reflecting more of me.
Yes.
And what I want to see in the world and what I want to be in the world. I reflect that because of that belief value that's changed.
So much.
So my world, what I see now is so different than what I was seeing 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
5, 6, last, I don't know. Like,
well, it's changing
when I think
all
about
the time
every year,
as well, isn't it? It grows, I think, because you have that level of awareness and you are very sensitive to, like, if somebody shows up in your life specifically, you are very switched on to, I wonder where that came from.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I love this. I know exactly where that came up from. You are right. The people that are in your circle now, your wider community, with all the things that you do in your life, everybody fits.
Everybody does fit.
Everybody fits.
And I recognise that on a daily basis.
Yes. Which is, and you're grateful
and I'm
for
like,
it on a daily basis.
How lovely are you? How lovely what they've just said to me. And it's all just mirroring back.
It's mirroring.
And there I'm gratitude. I'm grateful all the time. And it's just this.
And in that,
this flow, and it's lovely.
So what you said there, another thing that we wanted to make sure we got in there, which is important, and different things that we're talking about are going to land and resonate with different people, aren't they? You've got to take from this wherever you are. Not all of this is going to be there straight away, but we've spoken about this around money, this giving and receiving. And this is all part of what Sam's talking about, this flow, this exchange. As within, so without, as within. There's this masculine and feminine that's happening all the time. And the masculine, just in the terms of this, is the giving, and the feminine is the receiving. And something that both Sam and I have recognised in ourselves is where we have these slight imbalances around feminine and masculine. And I know for me personally, like, mine shows up quite differently in different areas of life. It's not the same. And it's the same for you. You carry a lot of masculine energy in that forcefulness that you have, that drive, and it's all super, super powerful stuff. Yet there's areas where you find it difficult to be feminine and receive. And we're not talking about girls. When we say feminine, we'll perhaps elaborate on this in a different conversation.
Maybe this is an insight.
The feminine is that softer, that kind of just allowing, and she does surrender a lot more easily. And then the masculine is just this more of a driven kind of aggression. So we all have both, men and women. We have both. And you notice, like on the yin and yang symbol, which is the same, you have that little spot of yin within the yang, and you have that bit of yang within the yin, and that is what creates that balance. And it flows through it. And I think that's important to have, isn't it? That when we're talking about, and where you're really recognising it there, that what you're now giving out, you are receiving back, and you give it out and you receive it back, and then you sit with it, and then you give it out and you receive. And for you, a lot of it comes in terms of the people that are in your life.
It does, 100%.
And those relationships that you're building, and that community that you're building. And I think, knowing and being conscious and being aware of that's your half of that creation. So what you give out is your bit of the job at hand. And that, pardon me, what you receive back is the universe reflecting back. And then there you go, Bob's your Uncle, Fanny's your aunt, you got what you were after. And that is the 2 + 2 of it. But again, we touched upon this in episode 1, so going deeper on it, and you like, we'll go into that, where you think that statement is, because we spoke about a couple of books before, didn't we?
Yes.
But then there's one particular statement, and this is a recommendation book of mine, but the title, it's that play on words, by asking it is given. But I think a lot of people rely on that, don't they? That relaxing it is given. That is what we want to do. But asking it is given, how it's not enough as a statement, is it?
No.
You've got to do more than that, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to put in the work still. You can't just say,
no.
Like me, I want a camper van, and then do nothing about it.
Do nothing about it. Yeah.
You've got to put in the work alongside that, and you've got to feel it.
Yeah,
you've got to live it.
Yeah, you've got it.
Almost.
Yeah,
you have.
Yeah, you do, don't you? I think, like, I know people. The term is inspired action. So when you go off and kind of do your own, go down your own research routes with stuff like this from here, which we hope you do, and ask us stuff. But yeah, that inspired action around, right? Okay. Now, a lot of people would hear that and go, "Oh, Sam wants a camper van, or she better start saving." It's quite a limited approach to that.
Mm-hmm.
You could win a camper van. You could get given a camper van.
Yeah.
You could inherit a camper van. There are so many ways in which a camper van could come across your path. It is. When you open yourself up to receiving, to the feminine, to the surrender.
Yeah.
And then,
as long as I do my part, I'm visualising, I can put a screensaver on my phone, I can do little things like that, and I can embody the person that travels in a camper van.
And that's exactly what I was just going to say.
So I can embody that person, and how the camper van comes to me is none of my business.
It's none of your business, and it doesn't even have to be related
I don't
to money.
have to limit myself by going, well, I haven't got 10 grand for a camper van, so
yeah, I can't afford.
It isn't
it's
up
limiting.
to me how that camper van gets to me. All I can do is my part, and it will come to me.
And it will come. And I think what you said there about embodying. So, we will come on to it, but you know at the moment that your wider view of how your life will look and move and change when living inside camper van. There are elements of your life now that, to Sam's current situation, that just wouldn't lend itself into a life of 24/7 freedom, being kind of nomadic. It just wouldn't, would it? So even if the best camper van in the world landed on Sam's drive now, she couldn't necessarily instantly get in that and go and drive off.
Not instant. Well, for a weekend, but
maybe,
not for life.
Yeah. So
I could dabble in my life.
You could dabble.
Yeah.
And then that's the embodying, and that's what we will come on to with our how-to guide, is it's finding those places where we either can't or we're not embodying.
Yeah.
You know, there are anchors to different things that you've then got to take once you put that desire out there, and then once you're also changing that belief system, and then your brain is working in a different way. So what kicks in, you have a filter in your brain called the reticular activating system. I don't know why I'm doing this. There are two exits here. There are two exits there, one behind. So it comes down from there. Anyway, and when you start this process, again, we said we would give you a bit of both sides of logic and not logic. When we start that process of manifesting, consciously co-creating, goal setting, call it what you like, your RAS filter switches on. Oh, it's switched on all the time. But at the moment, it is looking for its default setting, whatever that perspective is. Hence the self-fulfilling prophecy, hence the as within, so without. When you are, and this is an example to show you how the RAS works, when you are having a new car and you know what car you want and you start seeing that vehicle everywhere you turn, there's one, oh look, there's one of them, what we're getting, look, oh, I like that colour, oh look, there's one over there. That is your filter switching on. That filter's job is your brain loves a job, and that's the filter that switches on when you give it a job to go and look for said stuff. So when you switch your attention, I know you want to touch upon this, when you switch your attention, you switch your focus to whatever it is you're after, whatever it is you believe. Yes, so if you believe that you are skinned 24/7, your filter is looking for ways to prove itself right. It loves to be right. The brain loves to get it right. When you tell it you're a millionaire and you flip that switch, it has to. The science, the neuroscience behind this, the biochemistry behind this, the reticular activating system has to prove itself right. So when I say I've always got money in the bank, it has to be right, and it will work for you to make sure that it's right. So when we use statements like, what is that one, Sam, where what goes, where focus goes, energy flows. That's our kind of spiritual, and coming from it from that perspective, that holistic perspective, just give your brain a statement that you wish to be true, your manifestation, and your brain will work to go and seek that out for you. It has to. It loves it.
It ties in with what we were saying, we touched on with the language.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can be mindful now of, oh, I'm skinned. And and then start changing your language. Hopefully you'll start picking up stuff in your day-to-day life.
And going back to that,
I still do it now.
Yeah, we do. Because we're learning.
Yeah.
we're learning, aren't we? We're not dead yet, so we've still got to have a few lessons to take on board.
Yay.
And it goes,
Yay.
when does it stop? But that's what we were saying, wasn't it, the end of last week? Like, if you've done that homework and you've gone off, you've looked at a part of your life and you've figured out where, oh yeah, actually I believe that, and that is happening.
Yeah.
But we're then grateful that that's happening. But you'll start to see, if you've got this far listening to us, you cannot avoid now. We've planted a seed, haven't we?
Hopefully, yeah.
And you will definitely spot. You'll perceive way more negatives first, because we're humans. That's just where our bias goes, and that's part of our survival instinct. That's fine. It's a fear system, and we're grateful for that. But you absolutely have the control to flip those statements, don't you? And to start to rewire those neuro pathways.
And I love this, because you'll start doing it on yourself, and then you'll notice it in other people.
Yeah, you do.
And then you can start talking to other people about it, and that's the ripple effect, and that's what I love about what we do.
Yeah, it does, and it finds its way.
Yeah,
it finds its way to where it needs to be. And when we talk about co-create as well, the energy that is in your room supporting you or not supporting you plays a vital role in the power of that manifestation, that power of that co-creation. You know, if there's two, it's way easier, and because you've got that combined collective power. And then if the more of you that are on that same frequency, that same belief system, the same patterns of feeling, it's just magic, and it can it can really take over. So go and that's another thing, you go and find communities, go and find groups, go and find people that can be really supportive and like-minded, that vibe tribe thing, whatever that saying is, go and do that, because there's power in a collective.
There is. Shall we talk about what people could do? Because we touched on the gratitude, didn't we? Is there anything else you want to say about that?
I think we've covered. I'm not staring at the ground. The board's
We've got
underneath.
A board here.
You can tell we need a board.
Yeah, we work better with a board.
Yeah, but
we do, don't we?
But I think it just keeps us on point.
It does.
I feel like we're probably ready to go on to the how-to. Do you think? No. There's two things I'd like to talk about. One, the physical body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. And then I would like to talk about the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows. Do you want to talk about the nutrition, the body, the physical, caring for the physical self?
Well, when you were speaking, just, I was thinking, I'd love.
You weren't listening.
No. Yeah, I was listening. I'd love, and maybe it is a separate episode, because how things manifest in your body.
Oh God!
And then and then I was thinking that
then
goes
we'll
into chakras, and then I know, but isn't that all interesting? How things?
Yes.
So that's where my mind went to.
No, you're right. Because you said something earlier that did make me think exactly the same thing about responsibility.
Yeah.
And how people, that's a very difficult. I think there's quite a lot of sensitivity around what you're saying, and perhaps one for a separate piece. Because I think when it does come to the physical body, we could go on about that.
Like at the start, my throat went. That's a certain chakra, and if it's blocked, because that's all about speech for me and getting things out, and it's the same in different areas of your body, and it's so interesting.
It's interesting, and I think a lot of people. So I saw something today when I was waiting for Zach's prescription. There's a sign up on the board, like a notice. So I don't know whatever you call a poster. Used to be posters, didn't they, when we were young?
NSYNC posters, yeah.
Not this kind of
Not
poster.
this poster.
So this was a poster for this new NHS marketing ploy about obesity, that obesity is a complex disease. These are the words that were on there now. And it was saying about, there's layers, and there's it went on to say how the body can resist weight loss, right? So I'm reading this and I'm thinking, yeah. Now I'm thinking, for a different reason than what this poster is advertising. And it says, go online to www.whatever to find out how your body might be working against you. And I just thought to myself, the way in which a body is working against one when it comes to weight loss is absolutely nothing to do with what they're going to say on www.whatever.com. And that goes on to what you're talking about, doesn't it? It's those areas of resistance in the body, and how that shows up and how we build those walls and things. And I think it's definitely worth, it's like a standalone conversation, because there's so much in that. When we go into DNA and we go into our cells and we go into epigenetics and we go into, that whole physical self, we go into disease. And, I think there's so much we could probably talk about there, but with a sensitivity around it. But at the basic level for this conversation, we want you to understand that you, and Sam said it again about embodying. So not just embodying it on this, on our lifestyle, but physically embodying. You want to be, your mind and your body to work together, and then with spirit and with a frequency on top of that. If you're not taking care of that physical body, if you're not sleeping, if you're not eating right, if you're not hydrated, if you're not moving, this will all just be a whole piece of resistance that will stop you from getting anywhere in life. And at the very basic level, that will happen because you just can't be arsed.
Yeah.
Who's going to be arsed to get up and buy your lottery ticket if you're feeling sluggish and just want to be on the sofa? You're never going to win the lottery if you can't be asked to go and buy a ticket, or whatever kind of things you're after. As within, so without. It's the same. You have to have a physical body that reflects that.
And that nutrition chat is what we had the other week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've lost what I was going to say then. My mind just went gut and brain connection.
Yeah.
Sorry. And that was our episode about that. And it ties in. I mean, everything we talk about, it is this, and it all ties in.
Yeah, none of it's separate. None of it is there's everything here is a whole, and you are a web that is weaved together, and one slightest ping over there is going to be felt somewhere else in the physical self, in the ether. It's it just is. There's no way around it. And that's why this journey it just takes so long to work through, because it's a journey, and wherever you are in your life, from an age perspective, from a number perspective, whatever number you're on that timeline, you've got, if you're listening to this is your first exposure you've ever had to what we're talking about, and you're interested, and you're 37, you've got 37 years worth of beliefs to unpick to be able to coach that forward, or you haven't. Okay, so you could, and we go a bit psychologically minded now, like depending on how you want to work it, you can unpick. You could go down the method, a therapeutic method of unpicking, and we'll talk about that in a minute on the how to. The degree to which you do that is important, I think. The degree to which you look at why you are where you are and what your current belief systems are. You can go so far and go, right, I've got enough to work with now. And you'll know what we're on about in a moment. We'll elaborate on this in a moment. you could go so far and never end, and then just be ruminating in a world of excuses. So I think you've got to decide how far you're going to go before you go, right, that's enough, I'm coaching this forward now. Or you could just draw a line. This is going down more of an Adlerian route. You could just draw a line under everything that happened before this moment and just move forward and unpick it when you get there.
Yeah.
So if something shows up and you go, oh yeah, I've listened to this podcast, I'm doing a bit of work, I don't want to think like that anymore. It contrasts, it's contrary to what I do want to believe and the new system that I'm building. Then you can go, you can unpick it and go, I wonder where that came from, or not. Just don't. Yeah. Just think a different thought.
And that just touches on what I said before about how I've changed. It's okay to change. Like, people will find it hard. Oh, I can't change because then they'll think this, and you can.
Oh yeah, of course you can.
You can just change, and that was a belief.
Value, yeah, what you were saying.
Yeah, and that all ties in, because I used to believe, oh, you can't, because you're changing as a person. You can't just change. You are who you are.
You are who you are.
did used to think like that.
How many times? I am who I am.
Yeah.
I am what I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I was a bit like that.
Yeah.
I was.
It can't change me.
Yeah.
Can't change me. I am what I am. Like it or lump it.
And then when I started expanding my mind and perspective on the world and myself, I was like, yeah, I can. Yeah. I can change like that. And I have done.
Side note, if you're not happy with who you are. Now, I know a particular person who is important in my life at the moment, and that person will go, I am what I am. But what that person is wonderful. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is in terms of, are you okay with what you are?
Yes.
And is what you are showing you what you want to see?
Yeah. And it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
And stuff is what it is.
Yeah.
But are you going to allow it to... What's the energy behind the statement?
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Meaning, I accept that.
Yes. But a lot of people use it as an excuse.
Yeah. I'll take the shit because it is what it is. And it's
I have a wine every Friday, and it says it is what it is. It is what he says.
I wake up Saturday morning, I feel shit. It is what it is.
Well, no. Yeah. In that sense.
If you're happy with that.
If you coming to me, for example, in my job, you're not getting your...
What you pay me hourly for when it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. So you just keep... But then, like for Sam, that doesn't resonate with who she wants as clients, and then that leads into where your money's coming from, and that leads into your work values and ethics and beliefs, and that's the ripple that we talk about, where it is all connected.
Yes.
Because one thing, and we've gone completely off what we're talking about now, but
it's not like us.
It's us. It is what it is. And I say that with absolute acceptance. Set me up there, didn't you? That's called synchronicity. Yes. In sync.
Yes.
No, I've really gone off.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Just what it is. So I think we should wrap up with what we...
No, let me go on to the fate bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. We have... Oh, God.
Also important.
Yeah.
So people, okay, I get challenged with this quite a bit. I don't know about you, but I do get this asked. I am a massive believer in fate and destiny. Okay, I mean, it's tattooed on my wrist. And one may ask, how can you believe in things being fated and being destined, but then, because it's a massive contradiction, also actively manifest? Because if it's for you, it will never pass you. Okay. Does that make sense? Have I conveyed that?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just thinking of something I watched the other day with Peter Crone.
Right.
And he was saying how if it's a limited belief if you say what's meant for me won't pass me by. Because
Depending on...
yes. But I love that statement. If it's for me. And then how he said it, I was like,
it's twigged
yes.
something. Yeah. So...
Love Peter Crone, by the way. If you don't follow him.
Yeah. When we're talking about our life as a whole, so your whole life, you imagine the beginning and from the to the end. This percentage, I mean, about 80% of that picture will be what you have consciously created, be it good, bad, something in between. Around 20% of it is just because it was supposed to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, and this may fit, it may not, don't care. This is the way that I see it. I believe that when I came into this body, into this world, on this timeline, it's already mapped out and destined and fated as to what my purpose here is.
I believe the same.
Okay,
so far.
So we'll
so,
go.
Yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
keep
I'm with you.
checking. Let's
Yeah.
check in. Along said purpose and path, and for being here, the humanness of us, of life, that blurs and blocks that original purpose contract. It taints us along the way, as we've spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
That is where we lose sight of said original map, destined, what we're fated for, our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, at whatever point is appropriate for you on your journey, and you tap out of that noise and that blur of everybody and everything else, as we said, and you realize that there's more to this. Whenever that awakening happens, however that happens for you, whenever that happens for you, I feel that's when we really start to purposefully manifest what we were already here for. We start to remember.
Mm-hmm.
That is the difference between what we've got written there, that what I wanted to touch upon about the difference between fate and destiny and what we're consciously creating. There is an 80-20 rule. We 100% know what we're coming for before we land in that body.
Mm-hmm.
Life taints us, life blurs it, life muddies it. Everybody else does. We awaken, we remember. And what we then start to feel inspired to take action on and start to want to manifest all fits in alignment with that original contract, that original purpose. That is our process of remembering.
Yes.
And along that way, I don't know why I'm now purging some emotion, but along that way, we get to the end.
Yeah.
And if you don't encounter that awakening and you stay blurred and you stay within the mix, you just start again on another timeline in another place until the purpose of that energy that you are unfolds
and fulfills.
Yeah. So it's a
I wholeheartedly agree.
So I do feel like it's important to understand that, and then it becomes your sole responsibility. To piece that together, to remember.
Yeah.
And I think once you start remembering, Sam likes us saying that, once you've planted that seed, it has to grow. You can't unknow something that you know, and it is on you to the degree at which you remember. And Sam and I are in a place in our life where we're fully opening to remembering and then taking action to that, aren't we?
Yeah.
I just have these things. It's just
the move.
I have it. Move. So how are we doing it? What have they got to do?
Yeah,
you guys,
yeah. We haven't got any timer on this, and I feel
I know we've got really lost. That's it. We're in flow, mate.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
We're in flow, mate.
Yeah, might as well finish it now.
Right. So we're going to list some books. A big one, I'll just go on the limited beliefs and ceilings.
Yeah.
And if you feel like, well, I go back to when I read this, and it was like 2022, probably, when I read this.
That was before I came across that book then.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I was on holiday in the Dominican and I was reading it in...
Oh no, probably around... Sorry, I tell like we're only 26, about the same time. On holiday in the Dominican, reading it.
Get that bit dark.
Fuck off, I'm reading it. I like that.
And people probably don't know that they have limited beliefs.
No, they don't. Is if you did, you wouldn't have...
Yes.
Well, not wouldn't have them, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So if you want to know more about limited beliefs, because I could go on a bit about that, that is great.
And it's an easy read.
It's an easy read.
There's nothing too convoluted. There's nothing too sciencey. There's nothing too... It's a very understandable... He's written it to the point where you can... It's easy read.
Yeah, and you will relate to it.
Yeah, definitely.
It makes it relatable. Yeah. So the big leap.
And then I'll put some more in the text. So from here, your next step. So this is what you've all been waiting for. Is your how-to, isn't it? Like where you go from here. Do you want me to go? Do you want to go? So your first step is get a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Second step, you want to write down. And the writing is really, I am a real advocate for writing, old school pen to paper, because it does. There's a link happens within the brain that when you put pen to paper and you actually write something down, it.
I love writing.
Yeah, it stays.
Yeah.
It stays. It's an actual process that happens. Okay, so that's helpful. Okay, so what is it that you're after? What is the manifestation? Okay, that's left with you.
Yeah.
From there, what are your current beliefs about said thing that you're after? So where are you currently at? And then who do you need to be and what do you need to believe? What do the beliefs look like of the person who has attained said manifestation?
Yeah.
Is it that place in their life? Has got the camper van? Whatever it is. Okay. So what do you really believe about that subject? And what do you think? And you don't have to do this on your own. You know, that's what we're here for. That's what these books are here for. That's what the internet's there for. It's what ChatGPT is for now. Our mate. Okay. For help. We have these resources. That's what they're there for. We're fortunate. Yeah, we don't have to write on cave walls anymore. You know, use the resources at hand. So then, from that point, it is solely on you to understand, in order to get from here, to here, you've got to close the gap between here. So that's your manifestation. This is where you're currently at, and that's where you've got to be, who you've got to be. It's your responsibility to close the gap between here and here to get to here, okay? That's called the application. Sam and I call that application. The application is a process of every time this old self, what we would call the old self, shows up, and thoughts, feelings and behaviours stem from you, from the old self. You have to catch yourself straight away and you have to flip it and change it to what new self, that's what we would call this in coaching terms, what new self has to think, feel, behave.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Catch it, reset it, reaffirm it, restate it, refocus it.
Change
it, change it. Okay? So what you want from here to get to here. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It might feel odd at first, and it will. But through repetition, the brain gets to understand. And every time you repeat, every time you apply, every time you do the work, your brain will build a pathway, literally a pathway. And through the repetition exercise, your brain currently sends energy, it sparks down your default pattern, your default path. So if this path for 37 years has been, I hate money, money's the root of all evil, I've got no money, this is a very, very strong energy that runs through the brain. Yeah, it's sparking off a lot.
Yeah.
So you're going to catch yourself every time you say that, if your money is your manifestation in whatever guise, catch it. And then every time you flip it, your brain has to build, this literally happens, it has to build a new pathway, because that energy doesn't fit down that pathway. It's different. It doesn't fit. It has to build a new pathway that will fit and not resist that new way of thinking. Every time you flip and you catch yourself and you go down this new pathway, your brain is no longer sending energy down that existing default pathway, and it can't survive. It starts to break off, and then it will cease to exist. And then all the energy that's to do with money and your manifestation is sparking off down this new pathway, and boom, you've done it. That will then start to show up in your life. And then that is where, again, sole responsibility on you is to recognize and write down and take account and say thank you for every single thing that starts to show up that resonates, relates back to this thing that you're wanting.
Yeah.
Because it will, it has to. It's the law of the universe. There's 12 laws in the universe. That's one of them.
But we were saying earlier that you don't have to specifically,
yes,
relate to that, obviously.
Yeah, but in terms of gratitude and recognition.
Yes.
Yeah. So what Sam's saying is, so we were talking about this to do with something that the personal thing Sam's working on. What we're saying there is, people will carry a hell of a lot of resistance around things that they're wanting to manifest, obviously, because it's important to you. Yeah, and again, got this far, you'll have worked that out. So a lot of people can still find it really difficult to, let's say we're talking purely about now showing gratitude. Yeah, so we want you to be thankful for everything that is around you in your life, everything. But it's hard to feel good around money while you're still got both feet firmly planted here. So what we would suggest you do, because it works, gratitude is a state. So being thankful is just a state of mind. It does not matter within the terms of frequency, within the laws of vibration, within the laws of frequency. It doesn't matter what you're grateful for. You can just be grateful for having the ability to be grateful, because it's a state. So you do not have to think about money to manifest money, if you like. So the point being is, if you really fully loaded with a resistance about money, but money's the thing that you're wanting to manifest, shift the focus. Yeah, you've got to be here and here, and you've got to follow my triangle. But when it comes to terms of just general thoughts, try not to think about money. Aim to not actually think about money. Aim to think about and be grateful for something that you have very, very little discomfort with, because it will be easier. And we're looking for ease, we're looking for surrender. So if you feel really good about sleep, if you love your bed, you hate money, but you love your bed, and you want to manifest money, go and lie on your bed.
I say every night, legit, every night when I get in bed, I say I love my bed, because I genuinely love my bed.
Love your bed.
Love sleep.
So just go and get in bed.
Love it.
And just think about how grateful you are for sleep. and your whole state will change. Money sits within your whole state. So your frequency towards money will start to change without you even thinking about money. So when you wake up in the morning, if the first thing you think about is your work inbox and that riles you up, you've got to stop thinking about your work inbox.
Some people go straight on the phone.
You go straight on the phone. I mean, that's another. That's
another episode. Yeah.
If social media makes you feel bad about yourself, stop looking at social media.
Yeah.
You know, if what makes you feel good, find what makes you feel good, and that is the first thing that you want to do, and then you will wake up and you will instantly program your brain to look for feeling good. And something crappy shows up, it's just contrast. But the tip Sam's getting at there is, if you're fully loaded with resistance around the topic that you're trying to manifest something on, do not fear. Think about something else. Keep a list, write it down. Don't make it hard. If you've got to keep thinking and searching, it's like, oh man, I can't do this.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
Write it down.
But I don't believe it.
Yeah.
You'll get people saying, I could say that, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. You will eventually.
You will.
You just will.
You will.
Because that has to happen. There's a science behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, have lists. Have lists of stuff. Start making lists of stuff in your phone, on a notepad. Lists of stuff that make you feel good. So when you do start feeling bad about said manifesting, go to your list of the stuff that feels good. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about the stuff that makes you feel good. And continually recognize when it's showing up, continually checking in, continually to work to close that gap. And I promise you, by the time you've closed the gap, you'll be onto something else anyway. Yeah. It's just the way it works. We were saying that before. What you've manifested is old news. They're old manifestations.
Yeah.
Again, that's just the way it works. You will start to feel better. You will see that your thoughts change, and then your feelings change, and then your behaviours change, and then the actions that you're inspired to take change. And then all of a sudden, and none of this, some of it's instant, like Weetabix was instant. All of a sudden, you'll just shift the rooms that you're in, the conversations you're hearing, the people that are coming into your life, the things that you're getting asked to do. Your whole vibration, your system, your energy, who you are just starts to become different.
Yeah.
And it's painful at times. You know, when a snake sheds its skin, it hurts. Growth hurts. You know, we've got to put that out there, that it's not all rosy. You know, it's very, very painful at times, depending on the areas of your life that you're working on. Others not so much. Weetabix dead easy. But not everybody's manifesting Weetabix, you know, it's difficult, but it's well worth the change, the challenge, you know, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. If your manifestation is something you truly want, the universe will work with you to make that happen. And what we'll need to shed, we'll shed, as you say. So please accept in them shit moments. Be grateful, because this is what you've asked for, and that's what we were going back to before.
Yeah. Remember what you've asked for.
So just some little bits that will help you if you're going to basics and you want to start practicing gratitude. Some little things. I just thought of one while you said about sleep and stuff. I have like a line on my alarm. You can put a text in your alarm.
Yeah.
And you can put something in there, and an affirmation, whatever you're working on, you can put it in there. So when you turn your alarm off,
you see it.
And that's the first thing you're thinking about, not.
Yeah. And going back to and on that, the actual alarm, like I like waking up to a really, like I've got I have affirmations on my alarm. I have different things I set. I don't like I don't want that to be the first thing I hear in the morning.
I have like a harp, like a
something really.
Yeah.
And going back to what we were saying earlier on about that theta brainwave, which is when the door to your subconscious is open, which is the program that we're currently going to start reprogramming, which is getting from here to here, closing the gap. That is happening when you're going to bed, and it's happening when you're waking up. So when Sam sees that message on her phone, or you hear that ringtone or whatever it might be that gets you up in the morning, you are in prime. You are literally like, you will soak up what you see.
Yeah, you literally want it in there then.
So it's one of the second to going to sleep, what you go to sleep on. That is those two parts of the day you are absolutely primed for. You're in a natural brainwave state where you can change that programming. So that's a good tool.
So that was one. So in the morning, you could, and these are just examples of things you could do that I do. So I've got a day of gratitude book there, and in there, it just says list 3 things that you're grateful for. So as soon when you're waking up,
prime time,
have this on your bedside. You could write 3 things that you're grateful for. So that's something simple that you could do.
And you're setting off your day in that way.
Setting off your day in that gratitude mindset.
We spoke about things like, so other tools like manifestation tools. We spoke about vision boarding.
Yeah.
We spoke about visualization, affirmation, all just things that you can go off. We won't go into the detail now because we've no idea how long we've been talking. It's probably tomorrow.
But that's easy.
Yeah.
3 things every day in the morning. And then at night, I've got, for example, you could do 3 things at night. But I've bought you one of these as well. 1 line a day. It's great. This goes on for 5 years. And I'm on my 4th year with it at the minute. And it just gets you to reflect at the end of the day.
But it's it's just one.
It can just be one thing.
One thing that's stuck.
Yeah, from that day. So I'm on my 4th year at the minute, but I'll go back to 4 years ago and I specifically know to the day just because I've put a feeling there, a specific thing, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
And I think that's an important thing to end on. That don't forget, I say this to one-to-one clients and just in conversation and about all kinds of things. All you're ever after, whether you're manifesting a camper van, whether you're manifesting whatever it might be, all you're ever after is a feeling that the camper van will give you and that life will give you, a feeling that a husband will give you, a feeling that money will give you. For context, we're very basic with our examples so that they land and they're easy to understand. But trust me, all you're ever after is a feeling. You want a certain income, it's because you just want to feel. You want to feel, you think that money's going to make you feel happy. Or you can seek those feelings without any of those things being real. This is hard. It is quite hard to get your head around. But once you understand this, manifesting becomes a lot easier, a lot simpler. When you land, and I know we did speak about shifting what you're thinking about, but I just mean in general, whatever you're after fulfilling, it's only for a feeling. And a feeling isn't something that you can hold. It's why your thoughts are so important. Forget the actions and all the rest. Forget the actual camper van, using that as a, that feeling you can get from just closing your eyes and imagining that you're somewhere. And something else that I'll leave you with. Your brain does not know the difference. When you close your eyes, you reduce 80% of distraction from the brain. It does not know the difference between reality and non-reality. If you can hold a thought for 17 seconds plus, about 69, I think, is the absolute sweet spot where you start really changing. But if you can hold a thought and an imagery for 17 seconds, your brain will no longer know that is not your human 3D reality. How magic is that?
I love it.
So the more Sam might want her camper van, the longer I will tell her to close her eyes for, because until, don't get me wrong, we know we're people, we have lives and we want stuff. But it's just so that you can just take away these few little things that are quite instantaneous to get your head round. It's like, I might not have this, but that's only going to make me feel a certain way. So I can go and get that feeling from somewhere else. And I can close my eyes. And if I can't go and get that feeling from somewhere else, I can close my eyes and I can think about that somewhere else and I can feel that way. So all you need is 17 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't need that camper van, mate.
We could go on and on with this, but ultimately the feeling for me is free.
It's free, yeah,
It's
of
free.
course, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which you can seek in said meantime.
Yes.
In other places.
Yeah.
And I think that's isn't it?
True freedom is
it's always up there. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Have you said everything that you needed to say?
Yeah.
You wanted to say?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
And I felt so much better than last week, and I feel truer to myself with that one.
Excellent.
Like I love that.
Thank you.
As within,
so without.